Welcome ladies and gentlemen yet again. My name is Warren. Alright, today we got three very beautiful and special cars for you. Well, it's not easy to gather three of them at the same time, different specification F10 5 Series, but thank God we got them in. Alright, so on my left is a BMW 520i, flanking on the right is a 523i, and in the dead center, this is a special one, it's a 528i M Sports individual specification. Alright, so today we're gonna have a very short introduction of these three and what's the distinct difference between these three. So when buyers like yourself, when you're choosing, you have a choice to choose any of this and you know which one to pick. Alright, so without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Okay, we'll start off with the 520i first, then the 523, of course back to the 528. So on the first look, three of them look similar. I cannot say it's exactly the same, but it's similar. So for those that really have keen eye, they will see a very big difference between the three of them. This is a very stock 520i. Everything is stock, okay, bone stock. So it's an Alpine white. The rims are stock, the body kit are stock, everything is stock. So in terms of appearance, the 520i and the 523i look very similar. In fact, they are the same, even the rims. Alright, from the outlook you cannot tell the difference, okay, but of course when you go to the back, the emblem will tell you that this is a 523i. Alright, so but in terms of outlook it's the same. So buyers, okay, for 523 and 520 they look the same. So what's the main difference? CC, yes, capacity. This is a 2.5, this is a 2.0. This is turbocharged and this is a NA, natural aspirated. Okay, this is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This is the 6-cylinder NA engine. Alright, this has a higher road tax, this slightly lower. Okay, but in terms of power output, of course the turbocharged give you a better push during low revs. The 523i, on the other hand, it's a smoother ride, it's a quieter ride, and personally I find that 523i among these three is the quietest and the smoothest to ride. Alright, so 520i. Okay, so you can see the interior. Okay, there's a two-tone. Usually two-tone they call it a Highline model. Okay, a Highline model usually they come in two-tone and have a bigger screen over here for the iDrive. Alright, so other than that, mostly are similar. They have a mode selector here. Okay, a leather seat, leather steering wheel. Okay, behind the same. Okay, there's no sun visor here. On higher specs, yes, for maybe a 535. Okay, so the rest are pretty standard. Okay, in terms of boot space, it's the same among three models. Okay, same depth. Okay, you can see it's a pretty generous boot space. Okay, auto tailgate. Alright, okay, to the 523, similar. The rims are same, everything's the same. Alright, our interior, of course, there's a distinct difference in the color. Okay, this is a very simple grey color. Okay, for the back as well, grey. Okay, no sun visor. Okay, this 523i is not the Highline model. As you can see, the screen is slightly smaller. Okay, and it doesn't have a mode selector. So this 523i belongs to the 2010, early 2011 model. Alright, after maybe the mid to tail end of 2011, BMW actually released a slightly higher spec 523i with a mode selector and a slightly larger screen. They call it the Highline model. The steering wheel is a little bit different as well. How the leather is being wrapped. The leather here is a little bit rougher to touch, but for the 520i and the 528 later you will see it's slightly smoother. Alright, so other than that, it's about the same. Alright. Okay, now let's see for the 528i. Okay, if you compare three of them, you can see a distinct difference. For the 528i, they have the M Sports body kit. Okay, you see, this is the M Sports kit, the front bumper with the fender here and here. For the rest are pretty stock. Alright, So this is the number one difference in terms of outlook. The rims are different. Okay, this is the M Sports rim. Okay, it's running on a run flat tires. Okay, run flat. Okay, it's a 19-inch, but the stock 520 and the 523 is running on a 17-inch wheel. Okay, so this is the number one difference. Number two difference. Okay, interior. This is beautiful. Okay, this 528i is a very high spec individual model. So when they said about individual model, what's the whole individual thing about? Number one, the leather is different. These are maple leather. All right, maple leather, especially in then graphite tone to it. Okay, the whole leathery feel is a graphite tone. Okay, the steering wheel is different. This is an M Sport steering wheel. Okay, the leather is smoother. They have a mode selector. All these are called aluminium hexagon inlays finishes. All right, so the whole piece here, all the way up to the back, are the aluminium hexagon. The screen is the same size as the 520. All right, this baby here running on M Sports suspension, which I don't think we can see, but the suspension is indeed an M Sports one. Well, okay, it's in the Lockhart, it's indicated as black color, but it's not exactly black. All right, a certain angle where the light hit and lay on the body, you can see there's a deep sea blue to it. Okay, it's called a carbon black. All right, it's a carbon black with a blue hue to it. Okay, this color also is special in then M Sports color. All right, the tailpipes is being darkened. Okay, the rest are all aluminium. Okay, these are darkened tail lights. Okay, the boot space similar. Okay, baby pram, this size you can fit it in. Okay, and it's pretty deep as well. Okay, automated boot. So they come with a boot lid, the M Sports original boot lid spoiler. Of course, this boot lid you can get it easily over the internet. All right. So you have the M scuff plate here. So there are a lot of M finishes. All these colors are special in then. All right. The seats they are called M seats. All right. So they have a lambda support here, and it's like semi-racing seats where the sides are being jutted up. Okay, to hold you when you're driving at a slightly higher speed. Okay. The interior, the ceilings are black color. Very cozy feeling for the 528i. The first impression when I come in this car is wow. You can really feel a distinct difference. Okay, in terms of the cabin feel to the car, because of the color, the darkened ceiling as well. So the car actually feels more premium. All right. And of course, yeah, before I forget, this 5 Series does come with a soft closing. Okay, soft closing. Usually for soft closing, you will find on a higher specification cars like the 535 or 7 Series. But you see the 523 and the 520 doesn't come with any soft close. It doesn't close, okay? You have to close it yourself. So this is an option. Alright? So this is a reason why people pay so much money for 528 M Sports individual. Okay, they have a lot of very good options, high-end options added to it. All these are comfort options. Alright, so we're back to the 520. We'll start the car and let you have a sense of how a 520i engine sounds. Okay, a lot of people ask, Warren, how come 520 the turbo engine sounds like a lorry, sounds like a diesel engine? Alright, it's like that, come from factory. Okay, for a 520 it's a 4-cylinder. The engine is a little bit noisier. It does feel like a diesel engine. Okay, when I switch on the aircon, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear a very loud whoo, whooshing of the kind of a fan sound. That's due to the fan test. Alright, let me just on. Okay, I don't know whether the camera can pick the sound out. So you can actually hear the fan begin to turn, and when the aircon is being turned on, and that's called a fan test. So the pitch of the aircon will be like whoo for about 8 seconds, then the whole thing will simmer down. Alright, for the 520 and the 528, they does have this kind of noise. Alright, so this is perfectly normal. These are called span tests, and the engine are a little bit noisier as compared to the 6-cylinder 523i. Okay, so these are the things that are normal. So a lot of buyers, they don't know. They thought that wow, how come the engine is so rough? It's perfectly normal, not to worry. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna switch off the 520 and we go to the 523 and let you have a listen. Okay. Okay, 523i, these are all cold starts. Alright. You can directly feel that there's a difference in terms of the pitch of the engine. A 523i does definitely sound more refined. Okay, let's put it up. Again, I do not know whether the camera can pick it up. I'm doing my best. The engine layouts are different. This is 6-cylinder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the engine is more refined. It doesn't jump much, alright? It doesn't judder that much. It's a little bit quieter. It doesn't have the fan test noise, even though the aircon is being turned on. It doesn't have the whoosh kind of sound. This is definitely better. Okay, it's more refined, quieter, and give a slightly better fuel consumption. Okay, so this is the reason why a lot of people actually renew 523 as compared to 520. It's because it's more refined and it gives you that kind of, you know, expensive luxury feel. Alright, but of course, you're in the market for some speed. A turbocharged one is definitely suits you more. Okay. Okay, let's go to the 528. Let's see how it feels.
Hey, what's yours?
Okay, for 528, it's quiet. Similar to a 520. I can start to hear the juddering already. Feels a little bit like diesel engine, but it's because of the 4-cylinder. Okay, so for the 5, there you go. There you go. You can see the engine looks slightly smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4-cylinder. Okay, and it's vibrate a little bit more, and it's a little bit noisier. The fan test is just kicking, but it's not as loud as the 520i. I have to agree. Yeah, here. I don't know whether the camera can pick it up. There you go. This is a fan test. It will go on for about 7 to 8 seconds, and the whole thing will be simmer down again. Alright, so this is the main difference in terms of the noise quality for the different engine. Okay, beautiful headlights, LED headlights. Alright, so let me just switch it off. Okay, so we're going for the road test for all these 3 models, and a very short one, a very short drive, and I'll just briefly explain to you what's the main difference in terms of pickup, in terms of drivability of the 3 car. Alright, so let's go. Okay, so right now we're gonna start with the 520i first. So this is the Alpine White 520i. The first impression, okay, when you're driving this car, it's quiet, it's refined, but later we're gonna compare whether it's as refined as the 523i. Okay, for the 520i, the first impression when you drive is that the low revs for this car is a little bit pushy, okay, because there is a ultimately a turbocharged engine. For instance, like this, from RPM 1.5 maybe to 2.5, if I give the engine a slight push, the car moves. It really moves, man. It's very effortless, it's very smooth, seamless. The turbo just kick in instantaneously. Okay, so it does makes the car feels a little bit lighter when driving, more responsive. It's an empty road. RPM 2.5, yes, you can feel it going. So please take note that the Beamer is actually not a very light car. It's relatively weighty. So for 520 2-liter engine, the push is there. it's good, it's effortless. Okay, I don't think the fuel consumption will be very high. Okay, given that you have an average right foot. Okay, you give the amount of fuel to the engine, I will definitely don't think that the fuel consumption will be high. A lot of people say that the 520 is very jiayu, heavy on fuel consumption. But I've been driving the car for 2-3 days. I find it's not that bad, okay, as compared to the NA523. Okay, so let me just try again. So right now the speed is about 80-90, okay, and it's effortless. It's nimble, okay, it's quiet, but it's a little bit, yeah, now it's 80. I can sense, I can feel, in fact, that the engine is, a little bit rough, a little bit coarse. Maybe it's a 4-cylinder, okay, or it's a turbocharged. So the engine noise tends to be a little bit more prominent when you're traveling on higher speed. Okay, one thing I note about 520 is, I don't know, maybe you can correct me. I heard that the amount of sound insulation that's being placed in the 520i is slightly lesser as compared to a 523i. Okay, I have no idea, but that's what I heard from a lot of my mechanic. They said 523i is definitely more refined. The in the cabin noise is definitely lower. Maybe that's due to that reason. The amount of insulation padding that is being placed in the 520i is slightly on the lesser tone, all right, as compared to the 523. Okay, you can comment on the video. I have no idea at all, but to me, it is a little bit, subjective. For me, it's not noisy for 520i, but it's not equally quiet as well. Okay, so the steering feel of a 520i, I think, is definitely better than the 523i. Please note that the 523i we are having today is on of a slightly lower spec. Okay, on the earlier first few batches. Okay, so the steering is on the rough leather type. Okay, so of course the smooth leather like this, it feels better, more refined, better grip, and it's slightly thicker on the ring. Okay, they have 2 little hum here. Okay, the steering feel is good, pickup is smooth, it's nimble. Okay, and the pedal shifter is here. They have a mode selector. Okay, right now we are on sports. So what happens is that when you're on sports mode, the engine will be switched on to dynamic. Okay, you can feel the engine is a little bit more responsive, but of course they have the maximum, which is the Sports Plus. Okay, when you activate Sports Plus, the dynamic traction control is being activated. So you can feel that the steering is a little bit tighter. Okay, definitely tighter. It's being more responsive. The feeling that it gives you when you activate the Sports Plus is the car sits slightly lower. Okay, that's the illusion that it creates. I think being the chassis being tightened, or maybe there's something tightened the whole steering rack or something. It just, the car just feels a little bit tight and it sits lower. Alright, so of course when that happens, the car picks up. Okay, right now let's try Sports Plus. Yes, the noise is slightly more prominent. The rev go all the way to 3.54 before you start to change gear. It basically push the car forward by revving the engine on the higher RPMs. Okay, so this is a 520i. General feel, I should say, is good. It's quiet. It's refined. Okay, it's not that bad. All the cream interior and all this two-tone highlight feel just give you a very luxury feeling. Okay, I would say that it's quite good. Okay, so let's just jump into the 523i right now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are in the 523i. So the first impression after the switch is that the car, the 523i, feels a little bit heavier. I can feel the weight of the car. Okay, it is non-turbocharged, obviously, so the throttle, we are expected to give it a slight push for the car to move on from a stationary position. But maybe it's because of this, the car feels a little bit more refined. The car feels a little bit more enthusiastic. For 520i, the turbocharged, you have the turbocharged feeling. When you give the throttle a slight push, the car moves. It's very eager. But for 523i, it feels a little bit like maybe the OE class. You know, the OE class, the compressor type, whereby the car always required you to feed a slightly more petrol for you to move off, but because of this feeding, it actually give you a sense of refinement. Okay, as layman as I want to be, this maybe can translate to refinement that people talk about. Why there's a big difference between 523i and 520i is a refinement. Maybe this is the feeling that old timers, Continental cars owners, they always have this in their subconscious, that a Continental car must feel like that. So they always say a Continental car feels more heavier as compared to a Japanese car. Maybe that's the, of course it does. It is really heavier in terms of material, but the throttle feel that it gives for a typical Continental car, the classic ones, it really gives you a very slightly heavier weightiness, 比较稳重的感觉, they call it in Chinese. So maybe that's the thing about the 523i. That's the main difference I feel, okay, driving between the 520 and the 523i. Other than that, the 523i seems to be a little bit quieter. It blocks out, I think maybe like 5 to 10% more road noise as compared to the 520. I do not know whether it's due to the insulation padding, but it does feels a little bit quieter. Okay, and of course, this is the baseline model, shorter screen. It is pretty plain inside. The slightly newer 520i feels a little bit more luxury, but this feels just the classic BMW. Okay, alright, so that's it for the 523i. The pickup is seamless, effortless. It does give you sufficient power. Okay, so maybe we just go to the 528i now.
Lasciatemi cantare con la chitarra in mano.
Yes. What a distinct difference. What a distinct difference, guys. This 528i M Sports Individual. I can understand why people actually pay this much more for this quality. You can hear this beautiful song behind the background, being churned out from this beautiful, wonderful, powerful speakers. Wow, let me just lower the volume. Okay, so what's the thing about this 528i? So after driven the 520 and the 523, and now to the 528, I tell you guys what's the main difference. The main difference is whatever I have in terms of the good qualities of the 520 and the 523i is being amplified, okay, in the 528i. It's like these two combine the refinement of a 523i, that effortless feel, that turbocharged feel, and the seamless feel of the 520i being combined with the 523, and this is what you have. A 528i, okay? It's very refined. It's very refined. The whole feel, the whole cabin quality is so good. And once you sit on this beautiful leather, graphite leather chair, okay, the whole feel is the chair is hugging you, okay? I can understand why the ex-owner actually pay top dollar for this kind of seat. They call it the M seats, okay, with this lambda support and the hugging feel. So when you plant your whole body onto this chair, the first impression is it feels so comfortable. The leather feels so soft. This leather is so soft, unlike the rest of the two. They are using maybe a calf leather, slightly rougher, but this Naples leather is so soft, so clean. The whole feeling is so good. So that's the first impression I have when I sit without even driving the car. The whole feel that it gave me is luxury. You just spell luxury right into your face. Okay, that's the seat, man. The drivability of the car, wow, it's seamless. Okay, the pickup is even more effortless as compared to a 520i. This baby here is a 241 horsepower turbocharged engine. It just feels very quiet. The pickup is fast. The gear change is seamless. And of not forgetting the M Sport suspension. It's so, the steering is, they call it fast steering. It's very responsive, and whichever angle you point the car to, the nose to, the steering wheel to, the nose follows suit almost immediately. Alright, this M Sport suspension definitely worth the kind of money that he's paying for. When you go through road humps, they just cancel off all the bumpy feeling, all the noise. Alright, it feels very different. In fact, it's still an entire different class altogether as compared to a 523 or 520. Alright, the pickup is effortless, it's quiet, so easy to drive, so luxury. That's the feeling I have for the M Sports 528. Okay, and I heard it gives a better fuel economy as well. The turning radius for 528i maybe is slightly wider, just a little bit, but it's okay. When you negotiate a U-turn, it's definitely fine. Oh man, it feels so nimble. It's good, it's good. Of course, they have the mode selector as well. So right now, I'm driving at comfort. Okay, so it's sports here. So we just push all the way to sports plus. Okay, traction control activated, same. Let's see what's the feel. Immediately you can feel the steering being tightened down. Okay, that's the immediate feel and the response I have when I activate the sports plus mode. Okay, wait for the green light. You can see the whole feel. The leather, the rear, it's very different. It's very, very different. The aluminium hexagon inlays just feels expensive and sporty. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh yes, I gotta be careful, If not, I don't want to end up with a speeding ticket. This car is so pushy. You can hear the engine roar. Alright man, that's enough. Okay, I'm gonna turn back to comfort mode. Okay. As far as I want to keep within the road rules in Singapore. And let's take the turn on a slightly tighter note. Ah, yes, it's good. It's very responsive. It turns in easily for the suspension. It doesn't wobble when you turn. The whole feel is good, the M feel. Alright, this car is on a M Sports package. So all this little thing, when you add up, all these small details, it really gives you that kind of refinement that M Sports owner are looking for. You really make your money worth, man, for this car. Of course, for 5 Series, they do have even higher specification, like 535. Okay, it starts off with 520, 523, 528, 535, 550, active hybrid 5, and of course the ultimate beast, the M5. So you see, for F10 5 Series, they have actually 7 different models. Okay, from 520 all the way to an M5. For 535 active, for 535, I've driven before. Okay, that car is really good. Okay, the pickup is very fast, everything is good, turbocharged. Okay, it's very aggressive, but maybe it's too much for me. Okay, because I heard that the maintenance for 535 is not easy. Okay, for active hybrid 5, I owned one before. Okay, the car is beautiful, very, very quiet. The whole driving feel of the car, the hybrid model, when it kicks in, is so good, so cool, so easy to drive. And that car is as fast or even faster than the 535. Okay, but for the active hybrid 5, it does come with a problem. I remember when selling the car, okay, I sold the car to an exporter. Okay, the exporter actually told me after he driven the car for 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the hybrid motor actually gave way. Okay, look, I'm gonna give you a disclaimer now. Richard, if you're watching the video, I really have no idea the hybrid motor will break down when I sold you the active hybrid 5. Alright, when I'm driving the car, it's beautiful, it's perfect. Okay, but when he took over the car, the active hybrid 5 motor actually broke down, and that battery cost him 18,000 Sing dollars to fix. Okay, end of the day, the car was being exported overseas. Okay, but what happened for the active hybrid 5 is when the engine, the hybrid motor is not working, it will automatically become a 535. Okay, the aircon will stop working as well. It's not as cold when the hybrid motor is off. It becomes a 535. So it's actually a 535 on steroid. Okay, for active hybrid 5, but the steroid is a little bit different. It's more economical, it's electric, it's quieter. It doesn't give you that the biz feeling, but it's really 535 on steroid for Active Hybrid 5. Okay, so if you're a 5 Series buyer, you definitely fit into one of this category. Either a 520, 523, 528, 535, 550, which I've never reviewed before, or Active Hybrid 5. But of course, for all-out performance, you will go for the M5. Alright, so you can read up more. There are tons of information about all these models over the internet. I'm not gonna bore you down with all this specification stuff. So, alright, so I guess it's time for me to sign off. Okay, if you're looking to sell your used car, you can always give us a call, alright, or just PM us, drop us a message. Price Match actually offer you the highest used car taking price in Singapore. Whatever kind of quotation you have or you might have for your used car, just give us a call. Tell us the genuine offer for your car. We're gonna beat the quotation for you. Alright, all these 3 cars that we went through today is for sale. Okay, we will put the link in the comment. So if you're interested to view the car, to buy the car, or you have further question, just hit on us, hit on the link, and we'll just get connected. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Warren. Thank you for your time. See you on the next video.